Hello guys, hello, welcome to this session. Hello guys, we'll wait for some time for the other people to join in. Okay, how are you all guys doing today? Hello everyone. Hello Sunita, hello. Just let me know that you guys are here. Just drop a hi in the chat box. Hello Kishore. Hello everyone. Hello Madhavi, hello, hi. Hello Nikhil. So waiting for other people to join in. Okay, in the meanwhile, you guys can start telling me how do you like the subject of chemistry? You like it good? You like it bad? What part of chemistry do you find interesting? What part of chemistry do you find difficult? Okay, so we'll be talking about the tricks and tips for solving the chemistry portion in JEE as well as NEET exam. Okay, so just let me know. Hello Vinisha, hello Kavita. Good to see you all guys here. We'll wait for other people to join in. In the meanwhile, let me know how do you like the subject of chemistry? You like it? Do you not like it? Is it difficult? Is it easy? What is your take on the subject of chemistry? Then I'll put in my 2 cents about the subject of chemistry and what I've learned in the process of teaching, okay, about the subject of chemistry. We'll be looking at all the insights, all the different tricks that are there. Hello, Ashwin. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Hello, Bhavesh. Hello. We'll just start shortly. Okay, Nikhil is saying physical में problem आती है. Physical is one of the most logical portions of chemistry. Okay, so we'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about the different uh, portions in chemistry, the physical, organic, inorganic, and then we'll look at the ways how to tackle them. Okay, don't worry. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Pooja. Good morning, Venu. Hello. Okay. So we're going to start this session. Okay. So my name is Tavneet Bedi, and I've been teaching chemistry since the last 6 years. Just to give you a brief introduction about myself, I did my BTech in chemical engineering from IIT Delhi. Okay, I've been teaching at reputed coaching institutions like Akash and Vidya Mandir classes, VMC. Okay, so today we are here to talk about the subject of chemistry. Okay, okay, so let me just share my screen with you guys. Are you able to see? Are you able to see my screen? Just let me know in the chat box if you guys are able to see the screen. Is it visible, guys? Okay, okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Organic chemistry में confusion हो जाता है. Okay, hello. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll get to it. We'll look at ways to to deal with the physical chemistry, the inorganic chemistry, as well as the organic chemistry. Okay, don't worry. Hello. Okay. So to start off with the subject of chemistry, guys. Okay. So just to give you a brief introduction about chemistry, it is one of the most easiest subjects. It is one of the most easiest subjects. If you're preparing for JEE as well as NEET, it does not matter. It is one of the most easiest subject. Okay, we'll look at how we're going to make it easy. Okay, it is the most scoring subject. It is the most scoring subject, and the good thing about chemistry is that It is very less time consuming, guys. It gets solved. Paper can get solved in as lesser time as half an hour. You will just need half an hour if you prepare the subject well. If you have a good grasp on chemistry, it is going to give you much scores. Okay, and it is also going to save you much time. So you can maximize your score if you are good at chemistry. How? Because you will be able to devote the time that you save to solving the other lengthier parts. Okay, if you guys are writing JEE, you all must be aware that the maths paper is lengthy. So the maths paper, it is difficult to solve in 1 hour. Okay, so that additional time which you require over and above that 1 hour allotted for the maths paper, that will be helped by the subject of chemistry. It is less time consuming. Okay. Now, okay, if I talk about the subject of chemistry, people who dislike the subject of chemistry, they are majorly bothered about this exceptions. Okay, they are majorly bothered about this exceptions. But then, if I talk about the papers, okay, whatever paper you take, JEE, NEET, JEE Advanced, whatever, there is hardly one or two question. There is hardly one question or two questions at most which are based on the exception. So what you guys do is you tend to make a generalization that all of the chemistry is difficult because there are lots of exceptions, but that is not the case. Okay, guys, exceptions are there, but then they account for only one or two questions out of your whole 25 or 20 or 45 odd questions, whatever paper you're writing. Okay, please do not end up hating the subject on the basis of these exceptions. There are exceptions, there are trends, there are many reactions which will be there and which are difficult to remember, but then those account for very less portion of your chemistry or the part which is asked in the examination. Okay, I hope that is clear. So this is a subject, the chemistry subject is a subject which has to be studied with much discipline. Like I've been mentioning that it is easy scoring and less time consuming. So to maximize your output, okay, you need to study the subject of chemistry with much discipline. You need dedication and you need sincerity. So these 3 points are required if you're preparing for any competitive exam or in general in life as well. Okay? So you need to be disciplined, you need to have dedication, and you also need to have sincerity in whatever that you guys are doing. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, NEET easy. Yes, NEET examination is relatively easier as far as the chemistry goes. Okay, you guys will find probably physics a little tough, but then chemistry, even if you look at this year's paper of NEET, it was very easy and there were straightforward questions. There was hardly one or two questions which took some of your time. The other questions were simply straightforward. You just have to read the question and then mark your answer and move on. So each question was solved in like 20 seconds hardly. Okay. How can we focus more on chemistry? So we're going to talk about that. How can we focus on chemistry? I'll try and give you a comprehensive strategy on how to study the subject of chemistry, guys. Okay. Topic wise learning kaise kare? So we'll talk about that as well. Okay. Good morning. Okay. Uh, what are the books that we have to refer for chemistry JEE? So the NCERT is Bible for you guys. Okay. The book that you have to refer is NCERT and NCERT only, unless and until you are all thorough with what the NCERT has to offer. Only after that you can move on to different books. Okay. So let me now talk about the preparation strategy, guys. Okay. So during the course of preparation of any competitive exam, okay, there are 4 parts to your preparation. Okay. What are these 4 parts? The first part is the learning. Okay, the learning part in which you attend classes or you study from the YouTube videos or whatever coaching you're going to or schools or whatever. Okay, so the first part of it is learning, in which you are being taught the subject for the first time. You are being taught a concept for the first time. Okay, so during the learning part, you have to be making notes all the time. You have to make your own notes. Nowadays, with this online study, you guys are simply not making notes. That is what a general observation is. Okay, so be prepared with a pen and paper all the time. Whenever you're attending any class, any lecture, any YouTube video, be prepared with a pen and paper in order to note down all the important points. Okay, so what happens is you're listening right now. you will listen to what I'm saying, and you'll uh, keep it in your mind for like 2 3 days. After that, it'll just fade away. Okay, so that is the thing with temporary memory, guys. This whatever you're hearing, whatever you're learning right now is directly going into your temporary memory. So things remain there, but then in order to transfer them into your permanent memory, you need to at least write it 3 or 4 times, or you have to go through it 3 or 4 times. Only then it will permanently etch in into your memory, and then you'll not keep on forgetting things. Okay, so this is the problem most of you guys face. Okay, कि अभी तो पढ़ लिया हम लोगों ने, लेकिन 7 दिन बाद सारा गायब हो गया. Okay, so there the importance of making notes comes in, guys. You have to be making notes. You have to make notes, your own notes, because those are for yourself. 3 months down the line, 4 months down the line, whenever you're going to revise stuff, so it will be a lot easier. It will be a lot helpful for you guys if you have your own notes. Okay. Another thing that I'd like to point out during learning is you have to focus on the derivations. Okay. So what we do is we tend to skip derivations. Okay. And then we simply try and remember the formula. But then the derivations are also important as far as your JEE main and JEE advanced go, guys. For NEET, you can probably focus on directly the formula. There's not much of derivations required in the NEET exam, probably. Okay, but then JEE main and JEE advanced, you're going to require derivation. So make sure that you know the derivations of the formula, whatever formula you are learning. In that formula, whatever the parameters are present there, what are the variables are present there, you have to be very clear with all of those parameters. Okay. The next thing is to identify the type of the problems. Okay, so there is a formula based question. Let's say HC, let's say E is equal to HC by lambda. So this is a simple formula, but then there are let's say 3 parameters present there. There is energy, there is C, and there is lambda. So the question can be framed by providing you any two information and asking about the third one. Okay, matlab, what you guys do is, if you have been given the value of C and lambda, then you can find out the value of energy. But then if somewhere the value of energy and the value of lambda has been given to you, and if somebody asks you the value of C, then you might find some difficulty. Okay, so what I'm trying to emphasize is that you have to identify the different type of problems that can be framed from a particular concept or based on a particular formula. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. So this was about the learning part. So what you're going to do is, whenever you're going to study, you're going to have your pen and paper with you, and you're going to note down all the important points, and those noting down has to be done for yourself, guys. You are doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. Just think about 3 months down the line when you're going to need to revise that portion. It will be a lot easier. It will be a lot helpful for you guys if you have your own notes, if you have your own pointers scribbled on your notes. Okay, I hope this learning wala part is clear to you. Okay. Okay. Is my voice audible to you? My voice is getting disturbed. Somebody is telling me. Is my voice clear? Just let me know. So next, we're going to talk about the self-study part. So learning we are done with. We are talking about the part when you are learning for the first time. Okay. After learning, you need to practice questions. You need to learn how to solve questions. Okay, so this part majorly it will be covered in your learning portion also, but then there are some set of questions which you need to solve on your own. Okay, so practice solving questions. This is one of the most important parts again. Okay, just learning is not going to be enough. Just watching videos from YouTube is not going to be enough unless and until you practice a whole lot of questions by yourself. You are going to face a lot of difficulties in your examination. Okay, so let us now talk about the self-study part. Okay, so you need to do at least 5 to 6 hours of self-study per day. You need to do it without fail. You need to do it religiously. You have to study 5 to 6 hours per day. Okay, and during this practicing part, you need to go through NCRT. Okay, NCRT is the Bible in chemistry. Any subject in chemistry, any chapter you take up, you need to be thorough with what is given in the NCRT. Okay, you can probably avoid the physical part in case you're having less time, as most of you are targeting the JEE 2021 attempt or the NEET 2021 attempt. So you can probably skip the chapters which are there for physical chemistry. But then inorganic chemistry, for inorganic chemistry, you do not have to refer to any other book apart from the NCRT. Okay, so you have to go through NCRT for the inorganic chemistry. It is a must. Okay. Apart from that, there is NCRT exemplar as well. There are a lot of questions. There are very good questions present in exemplar. Okay. So NCRT and exemplar, you have to be very thorough with this. As far as inorganic chemistry goes, in organic also, you can just read the concepts which are given in NCRT, and you can also try and solve the questions which are given in the exemplar and the NCRT. Okay. Apart from that, you need to study about, you need to solve the coaching material. Most of you guys are taking coaching somewhere or the other place. Okay, so you will be given some coaching material, so that has also to be religiously solved, guys. Okay, now once you are done with your NCRT exemplar and you are also done with the coaching material, if any, then you can move on ahead, solve the previous year's questions. Okay, guys, so this previous year's questions is also very important. It gives you an idea of what you all have to actually study. Okay, so let me take an example. Suppose there's a chapter like thermodynamics. Okay, so in the thermodynamics, there is something called as Kirchhoff's equation. Okay, so it is a difficult equation. There can be lots of difficult problems framed over there. Okay, but then if we look at the actual questions which are asked on thermodynamics or thermochemistry per se, then the level of questions which are asked in thermochemistry is very, very easier. Okay, you simply have to talk about the enthalpy of reaction or enthalpy of combustion or whatever. Okay, the Kirchhoff's equation is very seldom asked. It is very rarely asked. Okay, so this is what is the importance of the previous year's questions. There are chapters which are very, very difficult, but then out of those difficult parts, the difficult parts are not are very rarely asked in the examination. So what you guys generally do is you find some concept or some subtopic in a chapter difficult, and you end up hating the whole chapter. Okay, so let me just emphasize on equilibrium also. Okay, so the equilibrium also, there is uh, one part which is chemical equilibrium, and the second part is the ionic equilibrium. That ionic equilibrium wala part, most of you guys find it very, very difficult. There are lots of formula happening. There are lots of approximations happening. There is a buffer. There is a hydrolysis. Okay, there is simple acid-base neutralization reactions. Okay, so these are all difficult parts. But then, if you have difficulty in it, you can probably again refer to the previous year's questions, and there you're going to find that the ionic equilibrium questions are mostly limited to the solubility wala part. Okay, so the questions are majorly asked from the solubility product, the KSP wala part. That is fairly very, very easy. Okay, so that sort of thing will be provided to you if you solve the previous year's question. Okay, you get an idea of what actually is asked in the examination. Okay, कुछ part difficult है तो है, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, वो part exam में आते ही नहीं, ठीक है. I hope my point is clear. Okay, so this previous year's questions is again very, very important. You have to keep on solving them uh, along with the chapter that you are studying. Okay, I hope that is clear, guys. Okay. Coaching center is not necessary, Seema. Seema is asking, is it very necessary to join a coaching center? That is not necessary. There is a lot of content which is available online, and that content you can prepare very well for your examination. Like I've been saying that the learning part is only one part of your preparation. Okay, so there are lots of tools, there are lots of videos available on YouTube. Okay, there are lots of books which you can read. NCRT you can go through. NCRT going through is enough. Okay, so that part you can just start with, and then the major part is the self-study component which you are going to do, practicing questions and solving questions. Okay, and learning about the different type of problems that are asked. Okay. Yes, very good, Bhandari, VM Bhandari. Self-study and YouTube videos are enough, but then you need to have a disciplined timetable. Yes, absolutely correct. We'll come on to that as well. Okay. The next part of your preparation is the test. Okay, so most people tend to avoid this testing part. Okay, you need to take your test very sincerely, very seriously. You need to be taking tests very seriously, guys, and you have to also spend some time on the analysis of those tests. Just घर आए टेस्ट दिया, 1 घंटा टेस्ट दी के बंद कर दिया, ठीक है, स्कोर जो आया देखा, नहीं भी किया पता नहीं. Okay, so that is not the way it is supposed to be. You have to spend time with the test. जो टेस्ट आप लोगों ने दिया है, whatever test you have written, whatever the questions you've gotten right, whatever questions you've gotten wrong, whatever questions you did not attempt, okay, you have to do a very detailed analysis of that, as that is going to provide you with the idea of the areas in which you are lacking. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I hope that is clear. It will give you an idea about the concepts or the subtopics in which you are lagging behind. Okay, suppose you've incorrected a question, so there can be a number of reasons why you incorrected that question. So you have to go through that uh, reason. You have to search for that reason of why you incorrected or wrongly attempted a question. Okay, so there may be the case that you do not know the concept. The answer is very, very simple. In case you've not attempted or incorrectly attempted a question because you do not know the concept, it is simple. Just go home and revise. You have to revise those concepts. You have to practice some questions based on that. Okay. In case the incorrect question has been marked to you because of some silly mistake, and that is also going to uh, help you and improve. Suppose you know that you are making silly mistakes in the examination, so you need to focus while solving problems. You need to pay attention while solving questions. It is hardly going to take you 20 seconds extra if you solve the question very carefully. Okay, so make it a habit. When you're solving questions for the first time, you're not just taking the answer or just taking the answer and ho gaya aise nahi. You have to pay attention to the details of the concept which are used in that question. Okay, so incorrect question, you probably incorrected it because you do not know the concept. The solution is simple. Incorrect question, suppose you made a silly mistake, again there is a solution. So the idea is to identify the problem, the areas in which you are lacking, and then you need to work on those areas. Okay, same is with the not attempted questions as well. Okay, so I hope this four parts of your preparation is clear to you, and you have to pay attention to all of these. Okay, the last one is the revision. This revision plan is also very, very important. So what I personally did for my revision was that there were tests happening in my coaching center. Okay, so whenever there was a test which had a larger syllabus, so I made it a point that I'll be revising the whole of the syllabus before taking that test. Okay, so before test, you need to do your revisions. You need to take part test. You need to take cumulative test having 4 or 5 chapters. Okay, so for that you need before that you need to revise all your chapters beforehand. Okay, so this was about the preparation strategy, guys. Okay, can you mention strategies in need for bubbling? I'm not sure what that means. Okay, coaching material, all the coaching materials are almost similar, guys. Almost all the coaching materials are similar. They are very detailed. So whatever you're doing, you just stick to one particular coaching material. Okay, you do not have to do everything कि ये भी कर लिया, एक book भी कर ली, NCERT भी कर लिया. Okay, so you do not have to keep on running here and there. You just have to go through your NCERT exemplar, and then in case you're enrolled at any coaching, you just need to religiously follow that material. You do not have to run after 5 different coaching and collect material of 5 different coachings and then try and solve them haphazardly in a random manner. That is not going to lead you anywhere. Okay, which is best book for solving MCQ? Again, like I've been saying on, first you need to learn, only then you can go on ahead to solving the books. Okay, so you need to study from the NCERT exemplar, you need to solve questions from your coaching material. Okay, okay, and then you need to also go through the previous year's questions. I have emphasized all of these points. Okay, so let me now move on ahead, okay, and talk about this chemistry. Okay, so there are 3 parts in this chemistry, guys. First is the physical part, second is the inorganic part, third is the organic part. Okay, in the physical part, okay, there are calculation based questions. So we are trying to identify the different type of questions that are being asked in the examination. Okay, so we're going to talk about this physical. As you all are aware, it majorly consists of calculation based questions. Okay, there are some conceptual questions, and then there are some graphical interpretations also. Okay, so majorly you're going to have some difficulty in this graphical interpretations. Generally, there is a fear among guys कि कुछ graph का question देखा तो थोड़ा डर सा गए. Okay, but then those can also be tackled very easily. You have to just pay attention to the concepts that are getting involved. Okay, majorly graphs are simple as straight line. Okay, there are n number of graphs which follow a straight line curve. Okay, y equal to mx plus c. So all that you have to do is identify the pattern. Okay, what is the formula being used in this particular graph? Okay, there are conceptual questions. For those conceptual questions, you have to be very thorough with the theory. Okay, so these conceptual questions are not asked to a great extent as far as JEE Main or NEET goes. Those are mostly required in the JEE Advanced questions where there is one or more than one option correct. Okay, so this was physical. Physical is fairly straightforward, formula based, conceptual things. You can have a complete feel of the subject. You can actually feel it happening. Okay, then comes the inorganic chemistry. This inorganic chemistry, guys, is a little tricky in if you're not aware of how to tackle it. Okay, so there are n number of reactions, n number of things happening in inorganic chemistry, but out of those n things, okay, there's a very little part which is actually asked in the examination. So you have to be very aware of the important things which are getting asked in the inorganic chemistry. So we'll take up a little bit of inorganic chemistry in detail, guys. Okay, we'll talk about this, how to go about preparing your inorganic chemistry. Okay, so there are standard reactions. Only those standard reactions are kept on repeating in examinations again and again. You do not have to learn all of the reactions of all the hundred of elements which are present there. There are a certain set of reactions which we're going to talk about today also. Okay, so only those standard reactions are to be remembered. You do not have to go about learning all the reactions which are given in different books. Okay, so this is the part where the NCRT comes in. Here you have to limit yourself to NCRT. You have to be thorough with what is given in the NCRT at first. Only then you move on ahead to the different reference books. Okay, I'm repeating it again. For inorganic chemistry, NCRT is more than sufficient. Okay, so there are some standard reactions which are asked in the examination. Then there is this physical and chemical properties. Okay, physical chemical properties are also very, very important. There are majorly these three type of questions which are getting asked again and again. Physical and chemical properties. So in this type of questions, so what is being asked is the periodic properties. Okay, general size, electronegativity, electron affinity, electron gain, enthalpy, ionization energies, and stuff. So you will find one question, at least one question from periodic from this periodicity. Okay, so just to give you a brief idea, okay, whatever exam you're giving, almost 1/3 part of chemistry is going to be inorganic chemistry only. Okay, so if I talk about JEE Main, JEE Main is going to contain somewhere around 8 or 9 questions from inorganic chemistry. So you have to realize that all the 9 questions in inorganic chemistry which you are getting for your JEE Main cannot be from the fact-based things. Okay, all of those 9 questions cannot be from the fact-based things. You will be given questions which are from the structures, simple questions based on bonding. Those are getting asked again and again and again. In JEE Advanced as well. In JEE Advanced also, there is at least one question in every paper which is directly based on the bonding. Okay, so periodicity in properties and bonding. These are very, very important. Okay, there apart from that, there are some properties which you study in your individual blocks. There's S block elements, P block elements, D block elements. Okay, so there are those properties also which you have to remember. Again, have to limit yourself to NCRT. Okay, and in this manner, you can cover all of your inorganic chemistry. Okay, yes, Vishwas, NCRT is enough for inorganic. Yes. Next, talking about organic chemistry, a lot of you guys are also worried about organic chemistry. Again, like I've been saying, you just have to first identify the problems which you are facing. Okay, so there are 4 categories of questions which are getting asked over and over again in the organic chemistry. Okay, first is the GOC part, directly GOC part or the reaction intermediates base. Okay, so what are being asked in this? Isomerism, nomenclature, inductive effect, mesomeric effect, and so on and so forth, as well as the reaction intermediates, the factors which govern the carbocation stability, carbanion stability, radical stability. Okay, so this is one of the major part which is getting asked in the exam over and over again. Okay, so you have to break down the problems into smaller parts. So the first part is, the first type of questions are asked directly from GOC and reaction intermediates. This is probably the most important part as far as the organic chemistry preparation goes, guys. I hope I'm making myself clear. This is the most important part. If your GOC and reaction intermediates wala part is good, you're going to face much difficulty in organic chemistry. Okay? If you are aware of this, if you are aware of this part, the first point, then the whole of the organic chemistry becomes logical. In case you're weak with the first part, then you have to keep on memorizing stuff. कि ऐसा होता है, ऐसा होता है, वैसा होता है. But if you're thorough with the electronic effects, if you are thorough with the stability of the intermediates, okay, what factors drive the stability, what factors uh, tend to make the intermediates unstable, then you can directly figure out the mechanism on your own, guys. Okay. So this part is very, very important. So you have to pay attention to this GOC and the reaction intermediates. In case you are having trouble with this, my first advice is to start organic chemistry with this part. Okay, if you master this part, trust me, your problems in organic chemistry is going to diminish a whole lot. Okay. Next type of questions which are getting asked in the organic chemistry is the mechanism-based questions, guys. Mechanism-based questions, simply mechanism-based questions. Carbocations बनेंगे, carbon ions बनेंगे, nucleophile attack करेगा, living group जाएगा निकल के, and so on. Okay, so those mechanism-based questions are also very, very easy. Okay, there are certain set of reactions which you have to study, like dehydration of alkenes, hydrogenation of alkenes, okay, dehydration of alcohols, and so on and so forth. So standard reactions. Leaving group will leave, carbocation will form SN1, SN2, whatever competition is going on, E1, E2. Okay, so those are the mechanism-based questions. Next, there is a set of questions which are asked on the name reactions. Name reactions like Cannizzaro, aldol, this type of problems are mainly present in the compounds containing oxygen. Okay, name reactions. Then there is phthalimide synthesis, Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. Okay, there are n number of name reactions. Curtius rearrangement. Okay, Hoffman bromamide degradation, and so on and so forth. You have to be aware of those name reactions as well. Okay, and then in the last part, this structure-based problems are asked in the JEE main examination as well as the NEET examination. So, since the NTA has come into the picture, since the time NTA has started to frame questions, they are putting at least one structure-based questions, and these structure-based questions are from chemistry in everyday life, biomolecules, etc. So these chapters are also important. You're going to find one question from chemistry in everyday life. You're going to find one question from biomolecules in every paper. Okay. So the first point is to identify the type of problems which are being asked again and again in the examination. You can just take a screenshot of this and you can just remind yourself in case you're having any difficulty that these are the 4 type of questions which are asked. Let me start working on them one by one. Okay. So firstly, I'll think of the GOC part. I'll think of strengthening my GOC part. And then after that is done, once I am confident about this reaction intermediates or the GOC or the stability of the intermediate or the electronic effects. After that, I can move on ahead to the mechanism of the reactions and so on. Okay. Okay. So I hope these type of problems are clear to you. Let me now quickly talk about the ways of tackling the physical chemistry. Okay. So there are certain chapters which I have categorized into 3 sets. Okay, first is the numerical based chapters. There is some basic concepts of chemistry. There is atomic structure, states of matter, redox, solutions, etc. These are directly straightforward numerical based questions. Okay, so you just have to put in the formula. All the effort will just go on into remembering the formula, right? Mostly, more often than not. Okay, so directly straightforward formula based questions. You have to directly remember the formulas and put the values given in order to find the unknown variable which is asked in the question. Okay, so first set is the numerical based. I hope you can quickly note down the chapters which are mentioned over there. Okay, next is the application based. This is a little tricky part. Okay, so kinetics, chemical kinetics, it is also very easy, but then the application of the concept can sometimes make it a little tricky for you guys. Okay, there is thermodynamics. A lot of guys have problem in thermodynamics, but then this is also very simple. Okay, then there is equilibrium. Like I've said, in ionic equilibrium, most of you guys have difficulty, but then in the equilibrium part also there is the sparingly soluble salts, the part on sparingly soluble salts, which are getting asked over and over again in the examination. Okay. Next is the electrochemistry. This is also another important chapter which carries a lot of weightage, okay, in the examination. So these all are present in your application-based chapters. Okay. Then there is two easy chapters like solid state and surface chemistry. These are very straightforward, conceptual and theory-based chapters. Okay, so this was about physical chemistry. Physical chemistry is very easy. You just have to spend some time with it until things become as obvious to you. Okay, things should become obvious to you. So the things will only become obvious when you pay attention while studying, when you try and grasp each and every concept. Okay, let us now talk about inorganic chemistry. Okay, so in inorganic chemistry also there are a lot of chapters which are very scoring. Like I've told you, periodic properties. One question will be asked. Okay, chemical bonding. Two questions based on bonding directly or indirectly. Okay, these two chapters are very easy, and then these are also very scoring. Okay, and you will be able to solve them in hardly 20 seconds. Any question on periodic properties is hardly going to take you 20 seconds only to solve. Okay, then there's chapters like metallurgy. Metallurgy is also very interesting. There's logic being followed everywhere in metallurgy, and then there's coordination compounds. This is also a very important chapter which carries a lot of weightage. JEE Advanced and JEE Main, this chapter carries a lot of weightage, and the good thing about it is totally logical. Okay, so bonding is logical, metallurgy is also logical. You have to just find some logic in it. Coordination compounds is also highly logical chapter. Okay, then come the P block, S block, D and F block. So these are memory based chapters, guys. So what you can do is when you're studying these chapters for the first time, you have to make a set of notes for every block. So for group one, you need to have your set of notes. For group two, you have to have your set of notes. So you need to keep on writing these down. You have to keep on writing these down over and over again. Okay, only then it is going to etch into your permanent memory. वरना फिर वही होगा कि पढ़ा भूल गए. That cycle will keep on repeating. Okay, so notes, you have to prepare notes, you have to make notes, and you have to keep on revising them from time to time. Everything which has to be etched into your permanent memory has to go through your eyes at least 3 to 4 times. So there is no alternative. कोई और option नहीं है बच्चों. There's no other option, guys. You have to keep on revising this. You have to keep on revisiting them again and again and again. Okay, so this was about inorganic chemistry. I'm going to stress on this some more also towards the end. Okay, let me now talk about the organic chemistry. I'm just breaking down the subject into smaller portions and again try to uh, emphasize the important points. Okay, so if I talk about GOC, in this GOC, guys, like I've told you, the GOC part, the electronic effects, stability of intermediates and all, these are highly conceptual problems. These are highly concept-based things. And once you get the hang of it, all of this is going to be very easy for you guys. So this is a major chunk of questions which is asked in the examination. Isomerism pe, there is one question asked. Okay? There is one question asked on acidic strength, basic strength. This time in JEE Advanced paper, there was one question on basic strength, one question on acidic strength also. Okay, so I hope this emphasizes the importance of this chapter. Okay, you guys tend to just leave it कि हाँ हो गया बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान से नहीं करा इसको अच्छे से नहीं करा और just tend to skip things. So you should not be doing that. This is one of the most important part of your chemistry, of your organic chemistry. Okay, so if the weightage of organic chemistry in chemistry is, let's say, 33%, I'm assuming that 1/3 of your chemistry subject or the examination is going to have questions from organic chemistry. Okay, so out of those 1/3, which is the 33% of the chemistry, you can expect at least 10%. okay? Or 8 to 10% of questions to be from this GOC and the electronic effects. This is a very, very important chapter, guys. Okay? Next, there is this part which is the mechanism based. There are name reactions also. There is concept based things. Hydrocarbons are very easy. Alkanes, alkenes, alkynes. There are just simple type of addition reactions, simple addition reactions in the alkene and alkyne. So you have to focus on the type of reactions which are present. Okay. Then come the structural or the theory part, such as like biomolecules, polymers, chemistry in everyday life, environmental chemistry, practical organic chemistry. So this constitute another chunk of your organic chemistry, and most people tend to skip this part. But then this is also important. You will get one question from biomolecules, you'll get one question from polymers, you'll get one question from chemistry in everyday life. Okay, so these chapters you need to study, but you can probably leave them for the end. Okay? So these you'll have to keep on revising again and again and again. Okay, and for that you need to uh, you can probably leave it towards the end. Okay, and then once there is 2 months left for the examination, then you can try and focus on these chapters. Okay, so what I used to do firstly when I was preparing for my JEE and examination, so this all of this rectification part, whatever the concepts which you have to memorize and mug up, so I used to take them up early in the morning. So let's say I've started inorganic chemistry, there are 2 months left for the examination now, and I'm starting the memorization process of the inorganic chemistry. In the morning, I'll wake up with a fresh mind and I'll spend at least 1 hour with the inorganic chemistry. So I'll write down around 3 or 4 pages. Okay. Then the next day when I wake up again, I'm going to revise those first 3 or 4 pages, and then I'm going to make or study another 3 or 4 questions, 3 or 4 pages. Okay. So in this manner, you have to keep on repeating it again. So first day I did 3 pages. Second day I revised the first 3 pages and did another 3 pages. The third day I'm going to revise the first 6 pages and add another 3 pages. Okay. So you need to have your set of notes, like I've been telling you. You need to have your set of notes. Only then you can go about the revision part. So firstly, you need to make your set of notes. Okay. So in this manner, you can tackle the organic chemistry. There are three type of problems or three major portions into which inorganic chemistry can be divided. So you need to tackle or you need to attack each of the part in a separate manner. So GOC, electronic effects, this part is fairly easy and this is very important. So you need to be focusing right now on this in case this is not very clear to you guys. Once this is done, and you can move on ahead to the second chunk, which is the mechanism based problems. These are also very, very easy. Okay. And once you are thorough with this, then you can move on ahead to this memorization part, biomolecules, polymers and stuff, chemistry in everyday life. Okay. So in this manner, you have to break down the problem into smaller problems. You need to break down a complex problem into smaller problems, and then you need to solve those individual parts separately. Okay. Nothing is going to happen overnight. रातों रात कुछ भी नहीं होता. All of these things, they require time. Okay, there is time which is required for each and everything. So you need to spend some time with these things. Only then things will be obvious to you. Only then you will be able to score well in your examinations. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to talk a little about the inorganic chemistry. Like I've promised you that I'll give you a brief idea about how to solve this inorganic chemistry, how to go about studying inorganic chemistry. So there is this periodic table of elements. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to learn all the groups. You need to learn all the groups. Okay, first group is like hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and so on. Okay, you need to remember these groups first. These groups have to be very, very obvious to you, because a majority of the questions can just be solved by knowing their positions in the periodic table. Okay, so there was this question which was asked about the ionization energy. So there were species like sulfur, selenium, calcium, barium. Okay, so you need to compare the ionization energies of these four species. So for solving these type of questions, you need to know their exact positions. Apart from that, a lot of properties also depend upon their positions. Okay, I talk about the boron family, going down the group, there are a lot of variations. Okay, so you need to know the exact position or exact location of those elements which are there in order to figure out the properties. Okay, so there is n number of mnemonics which are available. There are n number of mnemonics which are available on the internet, which you can just visit, and with the help of which you can remember the whole of this periodic table. So I also myself use some mnemonics. Okay, I'm just going to quickly share it with you. It is a very common mnemonic. Almost every internet site has those. Okay, it is there in the collective knowledge. Okay, so first group can be like है लीना की रब से फरियाद. Okay, है लीना की रब से फरियाद. Okay, I'm hoping you guys are all aware of these mnemonics. Second one is beta mange car scooter baap razi. Okay, then there is this boron family, bangan alu gajar and thela. Okay, there is this nitrogen family, New Zealand, Pakistan, Australia, sub big guy, and so on and so forth. Okay, then you can also learn this F block elements. Okay, last century presented new democratic prime minister through social media. European government decided to ban dirty hotels. Engineers to make yellow buildings luxurious. Okay, so there are so many mnemonics available, and trust me, you need to remember the position of the elements in the periodic table, and on the basis of that, you can directly figure out the properties. Okay, going down the group in the nitrogen family, let's say going down the group in the nitrogen family, the basic nature it decreases. Okay, basic nature decreases. So if you have a question in which you have been asked to compare the basic nature of the hydrides of the group 15 elements, okay, you will just need to remember the order in which they occur in the periodic table. So it is N, then P, then A, then B, then Bi. Okay, I hope that is clear. There are a lot of questions which are directly answerable on the basis of their position down the group or across a period. Okay, across a period there is a certain variation of properties. Down the group there is a different variation of properties. Okay, there are questions which are asked about the acidic nature of the oxide. Okay, is the nature of the oxide going to be acidic or basic or not? Okay, so all of those questions you will be able to answer in case you know the position of these elements with respect to each other in the periodic table. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, then there are questions about the P block elements. Okay, so P block elements, you study all of these groups. Okay, there is group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. But out of those questions, guys, out of those groups, the questions which are asked majorly deal with this nitrogen family. Okay, majorly the questions are dealing with the nitrogen family only, and in that also majority of questions are asked from nitrogen only. Okay, so even the NCRT focuses on the nitrogen only and the compounds of nitrogen. So there are oxides, oxoacids, and so on and so forth, guys. So all of these questions you will be able to answer if you study the NCRT. Okay, so majority focus of various exams is on nitrogen. Okay, if I talk about the oxygen family, majority of the questions are based on the oxoacids of sulfur. There are questions based on oxoacids of phosphorus as well. Okay, so nitrogen के oxides, oxoacids, phosphorus के oxides, oxoacids, sulfur के oxoacids, oxides. Okay, then coming to the halogen family, in the halogen family, reactions of chlorine are given. Okay, reactions of chlorine, properties of chlorine are very, very important. You do not need to study all of them. You just need to focus on one, two, three, four, like this. You can just narrow your study to like five or six different things, and then you will be able to maximize your score by providing minimum input. Okay, the whole game is about maximizing your output by providing minimum input. So you need to learn how to do this. Okay, and that you'll get an idea if you go through the previous year's questions, like the questions which are actually asked in the examination. Okay, so nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and then in the group 18 there is only xenon. The xenon fluorides are present, and these are also kept on asking again, and these are also asked again and again in the exam. Okay, compounds of xenon, hydrolysis of these xenon fluorides. That is also one another important concept which is getting asked in the exam again and again. Okay, if I talk about the first two groups, which is the S block elements, in the S block elements, there are a lot of uh, questions which are asked on the solubility, stability of the oxo acid, of the salts of the oxo acids, okay, stability of the carbonates, stability of the bicarbonate, solubility of the carbonates, solubility of sulfate, solubility of the hydroxides, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have to focus on the stuff which is given in the NCRT. Okay, you can finish all of your inorganic chemistry very easily if you just limit yourself to NCRT. Like I've been saying again and again and again, for inorganic chemistry you need not worry about anything else apart from your NCRT. NCRT हो गया, उसके बाद आपको इधर उधर की किताबें करनी है. जब तक एनसीईआरटी नहीं हुआ तब तक इधर उधर की किताबों का कोई मतलब नहीं है. It doesn't make any sense that you go after n number of books. Just limit yourself to NCERT. Once that NCERT is done and dusted, only then you can talk about the solving the different books. Okay. I hope this is clear, guys. I hope the basic strategy which I've shared with you is clear. Okay. So I'm also going to just quickly share with you guys the AI coach. Okay, so we at Careers360 we have built a product. Okay, that is the AI coach. I'll just give you a brief demo of that. Okay, it is a very interesting product. Just look for it yourself. So this is what the AI coach looks like. Okay, so let me just give you a brief demo of what this product is. Okay, so firstly, there's this thing called as dashboard. So this is what your dashboard looks like. Okay, so there is a mentor which is allotted to you. This is a unique thing to our course which we are offering. There is a mentor which will be assigned to you for your personal study. Okay, so you can contact the mentor at any time. We have a very good mentorship program over here, guys. Okay, then there is this thing called as AI coach over here. Okay, I'll just let's say we'll talk about this learning with AI coach. Let's say I'm starting off with the chapter of solutions. Okay, so I'll just go here. I'll just click on learn with AI coach. Then something like this is going to open up. Okay, so we have been studying the concept of concentration term, let's say. So there is a video at the first. You can just go through the video. The video is hardly around 10 minutes. So you can just quickly refer to these videos. So I hope you guys all saw the video. Okay, there are very small videos, hardly 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and that is also the videos are lesser than 15 minutes on an average. Okay, so you can just keep on studying them. Okay, apart from these videos, apart from these concept videos, there are questions as well. Okay, so you will be given questions from time to time. You need to answer those questions. Let's say you have marked the answer to this question as the fourth option. Okay, so if you have correctly marked the question, you will be told that you have chosen the correct option. In case you chose an incorrect option, you will be shown that you have chosen an incorrect option. Okay, so on the basis of the options which you choose, there are different paths on which the AI coach can take you. Okay, so suppose you have corrected the question, you will be then given an option to whether you want to view the solution, whether you want to proceed to the next question, whether you want to understand from the concept text. Okay, so let's say that I need to study, I've watched the video, I've corrected the question, but I need to understand from the concept text. So I'll just click on this and then it will take me to the concept definition, to the concept text. So I can just read through it. I can just go through all of these concentration terms which are given to me. Okay, and then I can click on the next button. So the next button will take me to another question. Again, I can mark any option. Now this time I've chosen a wrong option, then it will give me an option to look at the solution. Okay, so this is a very interactive product, guys. Okay, there are questions, there are videos, there are concept text, there are examples also. Okay, and the best thing about this is that you will be able to learn at your own pace. There's no requirement of any teacher to be physically there with you. Whenever you have time, you can just go through the concepts, you can watch the video, you can practice the questions. In case you're finding it difficult, the AI coach will give you paths, whether you want to study from a similar example, you want to solve a similar example, you want to study from the concept text, you want to revise stuff. Okay, so this is a very interactive, very good product that is available, guys. I hope you all should give it a try. Okay, then you can practice more from the examples. There are questions in the form of examples also. There are questions in the form of questions as well. So examples questions are simply present there. You just need to read them. You just try and solve them on your own along with the solution which is given to you. Okay, so this is the AI coach, guys. Okay, this is a very interesting thing that we have built over here. Okay, now coming back to the dashboard again. So this is what the dashboard looks like. We've talked about mentorship, we've talked about the AI coach. Apart from that, we are having live classes as well. Okay, the details of the live classes will also be available on your dashboard. Okay, you can visit the complete schedule. The whole schedule will be available to you. There will be upcoming live classes. Okay, and then there will be past live sessions also, like the class which you want to revise must have missed because of some other preoccupation. Okay, so all of those sessions are available on the dashboard. You can visit them whenever and however you want. Okay, the best thing about this product is that you will be able to study at your own pace and at your own time, guys. Okay, this is giving you the flexibility of studying things whenever you want them. Okay, next there is this course material which is available. Okay, sorry. Next, there is this timetable. Okay, so this timetable is one of the most important things. It is one of the most important things which a student needs in order to study. Okay, so you can just simply set an exam date. Okay, that you are having your exam on the April 2021, let's say, for your JEE main examination. Okay, then it will give you a timetable. Okay, the timetable will be something like this. Okay, you can just zoom in probably. Okay, it will just tell you what to study and when to study. Okay, I hope this is visible. So if I'm starting today and I need to complete my syllabus by the 8th of April, so I need to start off with some basic concepts of chemistry. Okay, and there are some other chapters also. You can just visit them. Okay, I hope that uh, probably this is not visible to you guys. Okay, so let me just show you how you can use this tool to further benefit yourself. Okay, there's an option of customizing your timetable. Okay, so customizing your timetable, suppose you have done with the initial 5 or 6 chapters, you can just mark them done. Okay, first 5 or 6 chapters, 3 or 4 chapters of each subject, suppose you've already revised. Okay, then this adaptive timetable. So what it will do, it will just remove all of these chapters from your timetable. You can just view and download your timetable. Then it will come something like this, and this will tell you what you need to study and when you need to study. Okay, so suppose I have, so there is a daily calendar and there is a subject calendar also. Okay, suppose I have done this some basic concept of chemistry, I can just quickly mark it done. Okay, mark done, mark done, mark done. Okay, so it is telling me that I need to study the some basic concepts of chemistry. What is happening? One second. So we were talking about this timetable. Okay, so we were customizing our timetable. We had already done these chapters, let's say five chapters of each subject that we have done with. We will just submit our preferences. Okay, and according to our submission of the preferences, this timetable is going to change. Okay, this timetable has changed now. You can view and download the timetable when you click on this tab, guys. View and download. Okay, so these chapters are done. So these are showing in green, guys, that you guys have done this. Okay, it is now telling me that I have to study the chapter of chemical thermodynamics today. So what this does is, what this adaptive timetable does is that it takes the weightage of each and every chapter. Okay, so there is a weightage of each and every chapter as far as your JEE main or NEET exam goes, and it factors that weightage, okay, into the number of days it is giving you to study. Okay, suppose chemical thermodynamics is having a greater weightage, it means that it will automatically show you that you have to study this for a longer time period. And suppose there's a chapter like periodic properties which has a lesser weightage, then it will just give you less time. Okay, so this adaptive thing is very good about it. It will just let you know what to study and when to study, and if you just simply follow this, if you just simply limit yourself to it, this is a very good timetable that you can follow. Okay, so apart from the mentorship, apart from the AI coach, apart from the live classes, apart from the adaptive timetable, we also have course material in which there are different concepts. Okay, so there are about 5,000 concepts present. Okay, for different formula, definition, and tips for every subject, for every chapter. Then there is this thing called as booster concept, which is the most asked concept. Okay? So these are the topics which are asked in your examination. So according to your examination, according to your product, whatever you have chosen, this will give you an idea about the concepts which are being asked in the examination. Okay? Apart from that, there is a list of the difficult concepts, which is called as the CADA concept. Okay, so this will give you a list of all the difficult concepts. Okay, so let me just demonstrate on how you can use this course material to your advantage. Okay, suppose you are studying something from the first time. Okay, you can study from the AI coach. Okay, but then in case that there are only certain portions of the chapter which you have to study, so you can quickly go through that. You can quickly go through those concepts which are weak for you. Okay, in case you have some idea about the chapter, then you can just select the chapter. Okay, and then there will be a list which will pop up. Okay, you can just select the chapter, and then the concept will be shown to you. Okay, so this was about the concept. Then there is a thing called as booster concept. Suppose you are done with the chapter and you want to revise stuff. Okay, so during the course of your revision, you need to just revise the most asked concepts. So you can refer to these booster concepts. Okay, in a similar fashion, you can just select the chapter. There will be a drop down menu, and you can just select the chapter which you want to study, and then you can click on this to concept to take you to the booster concept. Okay. Next, there is a Kara concept. In case you are familiar with the chapter, you just need to sharpen your skills. Okay, so you can just practice you can just study the most difficult concepts from here. Okay, similar thing will happen. You click on select chapter. There will be a drop down menu which will come out, and you have to just select your chapter and just click on the show concept. Okay, so I hope this is also clear. Okay, there is this complete set of concepts present. There is booster concept, and then there is this para concept also present. Okay. Next, we have a question bank of 20,000 plus chapter-wise questions, and we also have the whole of previous year's JEE main questions which are solved. Okay, so the all of previous year's JEE main questions have been solved. You can just select the years from your dashboard. Okay, so let's suppose you want to check the paper which came in 2014. You can just click on it and show questions, and it is going to take you to the question paper or the questions which were asked in the 2014 JEE main examination. Okay. So this was about the chapter-wise questions and the previous year's questions. Apart from this, there are some reference books which you can refer to. Those are given over here, subject-wise. Okay. Then there is this testing part, guys. You can take chapter-wise test. You can take subject test. You can take full mock tests. Okay. So initially, you should start with the chapter-wise test. Then you can take up the subject-wise test, and lastly, you can take on the full mock test. Okay, so it all depends upon where you are in the course of your preparation. It is going to enable you to learn at your own speed. Like I said, it is going to help you learn at your own speed, at your own time, at your own pace. Okay, you can study on your own. Lot of materials available on our platform. Okay, apart from the tests, there is also analysis. Okay, it is going to give you your strength sheet, the topics which you are good at. It is also going to give you your weakness sheet, the topics which you need to work upon. Okay, so as you keep on taking your test, this strength sheet and weakness sheets will keep on getting updated, and it will give you an idea of the topics which you need to revise. Okay. Then lastly, there is a chat room, guys. Over here, you can just simply post any and all of your doubts and they will be answered. Okay, there's this chat room where you can post all of your doubts. I hope this is visible. Whenever you have any doubt, you can just post it over here, and this query or this will be resolved. Your question, your query will be resolved within 24 hours. Okay, this is about the platform, guys. Okay, students are keep on asking questions all the time. Okay, and keep on resolving their doubts. Okay. So I hope this platform is clear. It gives you a variety of things to help you study at your own pace and at your own time. Okay, so just give this a go, guys. Okay, you can just take a demo. A demo product is available. You can just contact us if you want to register for a demo product, guys. Okay. So this was all about today's session, guys. This was all about today's session. Okay. So we talked about the preparation strategy. We talked about the uh, three parts of chemistry: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry. We also looked at how to go about preparing each and every part of the chemistry. Okay. Then we talked about some inorganic chemistry. We talked about the periodic table, and we also talked about some important concepts which are asked in the exam again and again. Okay. Then we talked about this AI coach that we have built on the Careers360 platform. So just give it a go, guys. It is a very good product and it's going to help you a lot during the course of your preparation. Everything that you need for your preparation is available on that. And the best thing about it is uh, you do not need anybody else. You know, everything that you need is present there. You can learn everything and anything at your own time, at your own pace. Okay. So I hope this session was helpful to you guys. Okay, we'll keep on organizing these sessions. Okay, these are very good, informative sessions. So stay tuned. Okay, stay tuned for further updates. Okay, it was nice talking to you guys. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.